gorgeous human beings, and welcome to the channel, the Summit of Sisterhood. I immediately want to cry. I am so happy today. I am so excited to get to present to you the people that you are going to get to hear from in the next 10 days or so. And I want to really set a powerful context for this, why I know it matters and what I think it can truly do for you if you lean into this space with your heart wide open. So first of all, my name is Melanie Layer. I lead this Femme group. And so whether you're watching here in the Zoom room or whether you're directly in the Facebook group, I want to thank you so much for being here. I opened Femme in 2017, and I have had quite an adventure building this brand, because I'm a little bit of an idealist when it comes to womanhood and sisterhood and what I believe is possible for us. And I think for anyone in the world with a big mission, there's tests. And I've been tested quite a few times for my beliefs. I've been tested in order to believe that things like what we're about to do for you this week are possible. And the fact that we are doing this in this energy in the way that it is one of the greatest testaments to womanhood I have ever had the privilege to lead. And so I'm really blown away by what this summit represents. What I want you to know is that when this connection occurred with all these women, all these incredible women that you're going to meet in this summit, when these connections occurred, they really were some sort of a divine intervention for me. This offer that I made, it was probably the worst idea I ever had in concept, because it triggered every single thing I was afraid of. When the idea came to me and it kind of unraveled what it was that I was supposed to do with these women, I was completely terrified. Having put myself out there before and fallen quite from high heights, it felt like, what is wrong with me? How is this a good idea? We spent 2 years going through the most extraordinary work in order to be the people that we are for you today. There has been such real relationships built between the people that are presenting for you. And the most beautiful thing about it is the sisterhood that got created even outside of the program. And so I led a mastermind for over 50 women, and over 30 of them are going to present for you this week. Some of them have decided they would prefer to be supporting and watch. They didn't want to lead a section. Some people didn't want to necessarily be as active in supporting the sisterhood. And one of the things that I had said is, if you're going to be a participant of the summit, you've got to care about all the participants. You show up, we do this together. And so only the ones that could really back that are here. And I'm actually proud of all the ones who chose not to, and that didn't just selfishly say, oh, this is an opportunity for me to be seen, I'll say I'm in, and I won't. I am so grateful for the relationships and the care that these women have for each other. These are people who reached out to each other in some of the hardest times in each other's lives. These are people who've had misunderstandings and tidied them up. These are people who felt like they didn't matter and tidied that up. These are people who shone so bright and were so used to being seen, and then all of a sudden had a hard time and a wobble and didn't know how to belong in a group if they weren't shiny. This is people who started off almost invisible and came out leading the pack like the most extraordinary wolves I've ever seen. These are people who have been together through all the things. They've traveled to different countries to meet. They created retreats on their own just to value each other's gifts and where they come from. A lot of them have seen each other in person, held each other in person, spent time together, living in the same spaces and getting to know each other deeply. They're friends, they're sisters. And there's been a lot of things that have happened in the course of the last 2 years. What blows me away is that this group did something extraordinary for me. It helped me heal something that I did not think I was going to be available to heal. It made me available for something in my heart that I really thought I had closed my heart to. And I opened myself up to these women more than I've ever opened myself up to any clients. This was a big deal. It was a big deal for me. It was a big deal for them. And what I love about it is that this is not a summit about who's the best. It's not a summit about who's the smartest, who's the most successful, and who's the most rich. This is a summit about people who see each other's value deeply, so deeply that they care about what each other has to say every day. And what I would love for you to experience in this summit is not only their genius and their uniqueness and their thoughts, not just what they care about, what they stand for, how they lead themselves, what they've learned, what they're experts at, what they've become, because you will have a chance to do all of that. But what I really want you to experience in this is what it looks like when women find equal value in each other, when everyone matters, when if one person wasn't there, it would change the room. And I cannot tell you how proud I am of these women and who they've become in 2 years. They have changed physically. They have changed emotionally. They have changed spiritually. They have changed in every single way that a person can change. They have been through personal things in their lives and their families and their health and their businesses. I've seen the best and the worst of these people. I have never loved a group more. And I think that's really what this world really needs right now, is to see people who belong because they said so. People who belong because they chose to belong, and then they just acted accordingly. They pulled up their seat and then they pulled up a seat for everybody else. And that's what this group is about. And so there's going to be speakers that come in with their own teachings. They're going to want to share with you what they've learned. Just listen, see if it's for you, see what you can get from them, see if you can feel their heart. Just be there and see if there's something for you in what these gorgeous people are saying. Some of these are going to be interviews. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to chat. I'm going to be a part of some of these discussions with these women. Some is just them. Some is the both of us. It just kind of depends what they preferred, whether they wanted to have an interview with me, a conversation with me. Some people are two sisters on one call saying, we're going to interview each other on this one. That's how we're doing it. It's perfect. These calls are different and they're unique, same as the speakers you're going to meet. I'm not asking you to come in here to come and put people on a pedestal and see how there's something you need to become one day. What I want you to actually do is imagine you could be next in the lineup. I want every single person who speaks here to be evidence for you that you're in the right place and that your business works, your life works, your message works, your voice works, you matter, everything is perfect. And it's just time for you to start doing what it is that you want to do with your life. Whether that's just speaking to touch people and move people and make an impact on the world, whether you have a business that you want to do, like I want you to find just your place in the summit where it's like you could have just been one of the next speakers and it would have just been so. Every single woman here is far beyond what you'll be able to understand in the next 30 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour with them, depending on how long they speak. You'll never get the full spectrum of who they are in the short time that you meet them. And so I do invite you to find them on social media. If someone connects with you and you're like, whoa, I really love this person, follow their journey, see if there's more you can learn from them. Because I can personally tell you there's not one woman that's going to speak here that has not impacted my life in a very, very deep way in the last 2 years. And there's not one woman I would allow here if I didn't think she could do the same for you. And it's not because she's better than you. It's because she decided she mattered. And if we can learn from that, the world changes. This group is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I have felt honored every single step of the way. I have felt loved. I have felt respected. I have felt triggered. I have felt challenged. I have felt forgiven. I have felt held responsible. I have felt admired. I have felt disappointment. I felt sadness. I felt joy. I felt everything. And we love each other. And I don't know that there's another way to be in a relationship as women. We need to be able to be all of it, experience all of it. And that's what happens here. So this summit will have all kinds of different angles. And you can watch as many of these as you want. I encourage you to plug in as often as you want. Different speakers speak on different topics. We've added bios for you. We've added topic lines for you so that you know who's talking about what. But I think you'll be shocked. I think some of the things you think you least need will be some of your most impactful things. So as often as you can plug in. These will be available in the group to watch. They'll be available to listen to. They'll be here for you to plug back into. But the live energy, there's always something quite special about the live energy of something like this. If someone says something during their time and you think that is a quotable moment, like you love that and you think it should be quoted, type it in the comment section. My team will grab it and we're going to make quotes for every speaker so we can celebrate them for what they've said. How I would really love for you to watch this summit is this way. If you were ever to be a part of a summit like this, how would you wish people watched? How would you wish people listened? How open about who you are would you like them to be? How curious about how much more you are would you want them to be? How open-minded would you like them to be? And see and practice if you can be that in this space. The idealistic impact I would like to make with this summit is that by the end of it, you feel like you're a part of us as well. That we can expedite what we created in 2 years for you. And that at the end of this, you feel like you had something with us. Because the crazy thing about the channel is it was everyone having a call every week. And then we ended up having deepening calls and deeper discussions, and it turned into 2 years. Whoops. But ultimately, it was about everyone having an opportunity to come forward. And we're basically condensing the entire channel into 11 days, doing it all again on hyperdrive after having processed so many things. And so you're getting the best of us after we've worked through so much, after we've found so much knowing in who we are to come and present something, to invite you really to just take a leap into your life, whatever that is and whatever that looks like. We are going to have a very special charity that we want to give to during this event. And we're still just tying up all the logistics on it and making it available. It's going to, the information for that will be brought forward to you as we're solid and we know exactly how to lead you into donating to that. There's absolutely no obligation. It's just, if we're going to do something extraordinary, might as well do something extraordinary. And so if you feel led, wouldn't it be amazing if on top of all these discussions, we're able to make an impact somewhere? So stay tuned for that. I think this would be such a great opportunity for us to make an even bigger impact than we're about to make. Now, this summit is about all of us. And my energy runs through all of us. It isn't really about Melanie and Lair, this summit. So for those of you who may have seen this and thought, I wonder what I'll learn from Melanie. The greatest thing I hope you learn from Melanie is that people matter, is that who we are is our people. These are my people. These are people that I really have come to love and learn from and grow with for 2 whole years. And we're about to deliver something extraordinary. And how could your life change if you could click your fingers and have 30 some people show up and light the world with you? What would that be like? And what if when you stood in a room and 30 people plus came in to light the world with you, all of a sudden 1,000 more showed up just to see what the magic's all about? Imagine what kind of world we could change if it was this easy to get together in a room and talk and listen to each other. So you're going to learn from all the speakers. There will be opportunities to hear from me as well, because I'll be in discussion and in dialogue with a lot of these women, and magic will come from every session. But the goal of this, and what I'm really hoping that you're going to get, is the collective power of sisterhood. What actually happens when we all matter. When it's not about, oh, which one's the most successful one? Which one's the most empowering one? Which one's the most, when instead it's like these people together are the summit. It's not about one or the other. It's about the fact that all of us together create this channel. And I think you're going to get a piece from everyone here. There's something to get from everyone. This would not have been the same experience if one of the women here would not have been present. They all brought something absolutely extraordinary to the table. And I think that this is what's often missed when we're getting lost in our own journey with the balance of masculine and feminine energetics, wanting to be the best, wanting to shine, wanting to not be lost and not be seen, and wanting to matter. We forget that the best way to do that is to build a community where everyone matters. If you build the community, if you are a part of something, then you're a part of something. The people who feel the most invisible are the ones who are trying to shine or outshine everyone, instead of collectively rising the shining of an entire group or community. I've built something I'm really proud of, but the thing that has always made the difference are the people. That is what has made the big difference. The people, how they show up, how they lead themselves, what they represent, how they care for each other. Now, I want to give you some context on something before we dive into this, because our first speaker is going to come on with us at 3 o'clock. And I really want to give her a warm welcome and introduce her properly. There's something I want you to keep in mind, and this is something I find we struggle with as women, is the difference between an extraordinary person and the personality of a person. And so you're going to find that there's different people in this group that you prefer their personality. That has nothing to do with how incredible they are. I would invite you to see how you can sit with any mismatched personality that you might experience. You might decide someone looks the part to you or not. See how that feels, and where maybe in your life you're stopping yourself from doing something because you don't look the part, or you think that you don't have the right personality or whatever it is. Any judgment that comes up, and I want you to be mad about yourself about that. I don't want you to think I'm a bad person and I don't belong here anymore. What I would rather you do is just notice that this is all of our collective issue, is that we judge people before we've even had a chance to connect, is that we decide if people belong or deserve something before we've even given them a chance. And because we do that, we wonder if we belong in every room we walk in. Because we do that, we wonder who's thinking that about us. And so the greatest healing of sisterhood is the recognition that a personality type, someone's face, someone's style, that's not enough to make a difference about a person. And on the day where that lands for you, you'll stop being so afraid of showing up in a room. On the day where you don't think people look at your face first and decide whether you fit the bill. On the day where you're not so afraid that you're having a bad day and you're not good enough and someone may not like you today, you might actually show up and create some consistency in your life and in your business. And that's what I really want to see happen for you. It might take you a few days. You might notice it a few times. It might be difficult. We're mirrors for each other, women. We really are. And so when you see something in someone and you wish it was you, it causes feelings. When you see something in someone and you would never do that, it causes something. When you see something in someone and you don't think they would like you, it causes something. When they remind you of someone, it causes something. And so how can you relax into that and be a part of diversity and difference and different backgrounds and different styles and different ways that people are? Can you work on yourself even just being in this room without being told how to do it? Because you know what else? I really think that a lot of us have so much more wisdom than we think, but we're waiting for someone else to tell us how to fix whatever's not correct about us and our behavior in the moment. I would love for us to use the collective power of trust in this to actually not even question how we fix whatever judgments are happening. We just notice them and see if you can use your inner wisdom to tell you how you mend this for your own heart, for your own ego, for your own fears. Don't make it about her. Don't make it about you. Just breathe and see if you can make it through the discomfort. Because it's the numbing, it's the turning it off, it's the deciding it's not, you just can't handle it. That's probably costing all the things that you really want in your life. We have had difficult conversations in this channel. I'm not presenting you people who were just thought I was the best thing since sliced bread, went along with everything I said, and then said, yay, we love you. Please, let's have a summit. I'm presenting you people who were so brave, who made a decision for themselves and then stood for what they wanted and what they needed every single step of the way for this channel. And I decided to show up, not just like I'm the boss. I've said it last year, and everybody do what I say. I actually showed up and I said, let's make this exactly what it's supposed to be. And it took us 2 years to get there. There was so much humility, so much compassion, so much care, so much respect and forgiveness along the way for us to be where we stand today. And so we're not asking you to do anything we haven't done already. And we're not asking you to like us any more than we've disliked ourselves or each other in the process. You're allowed. We've done it too. And now we're here. So I would love for you to see how far you can come with us, how long you can last watching people that may or may not be different than you express themselves in a way you may or may not ever express yourself, and see how does that all work? What do you learn? And so we're going to open the Alpha Femme group quite a little bit during this time for people who have breakthroughs. I'd love to know if just listening to the people here, something landed for you. If you've had a breakthrough, if you want to celebrate someone, if you feel like, wow, I'm really blown away. This is what I learned. This is what I saw. The Alpha Femme team is still going to be screening things in the sense where if there's anything that feels derogatory, if there's anything that's bullying, if there's anything that's not in alignment with the Alpha Femme brand, it won't be brought forward. And so we ask that you do so with respect, but we would really like you to participate in this and bring yourself forward as someone that's part of the sisterhood. What are you learning about yourself and what really helped in the unfolding of this event? And so our first participant, I want to give some context for, because this person, for me particularly, has been such a beautiful gift. And I think the rest of the channel can agree with me that she was not one of the participants that spoke the most, and she didn't try to just be seen a lot and talk a lot, but she listened to everything, like she got it. It was actually quite shocking to find out how much she was listening. Whenever she gave input or feedback, it was like, wow, you really listen. This woman is a person who is a genius at her craft. And when you find out about who she is and what she's done, I think you'll be really blown away. This is a person who is so magnetic and loving. It's like you wonder how you can be in this person's life forever. She's just brilliant. But she doesn't try. That's the thing about her. It's so interesting. And so where my biggest breakthroughs were with her is in the mature knowing of your greatness. Because when Silke told me about her career and what she's achieved in her life, my jaw hit the floor. And I was like, how do you not, if I was this cool, I feel like I would tell everybody. Like, why don't you tell everybody that you're this cool? And what I get from Silke is that she knows she doesn't even need to, because people get, the people who matter get the vibe. They kind of just know. And that's such an incredible thing to see in a person, someone who knows their worth so much they don't need validation for it. This is the kind of person I'm bringing forward here. A wise, beautiful, mature, powerful person who's done extraordinary things, and I'm so excited for her to come forward. The most beautiful soul, Silke Glatz. We're going to start with the animation for her so that we have the vibe so she can kind of get into the energy of it. So if you've seen the animation once, trust me, by the end of this, you'll be bopping to it and you'll know every image by heart. Get ready, Silke, take a deep breath, and then let's get this animation going and let's have her come and join us.